Ron and Sam here with A Perfectly Imperfect Marriage, and today we're going to talk about
joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Woo!
yes and no. But yes, we're going to talk about the atmosphere in your home and how much joy there is, internally as an individual, as well as the atmosphere in the home.
So, how much atmosphere would you say? We have a lot of atmosphere in our home.
We definitely have a lot of atmosphere. I left a word out of that.
How much joy, atmosphere? Yeah, see, no, again, tongue-tied. How much joy is in our atmosphere here? And I would say over the years,
it's definitely increased. Yes. When we first got married, much like everybody else, there's no owner's manual, and we made a lot of mistakes and had some angst. And we are a blended family, so learning how to parent together caused a little stress as well, and might have chewed up some of that joy.
Yeah, and listen, whether you're a blended family or not, parenting is rough. There are seasons which can suck the joy right out of your house.
Absolutely.
So the question we're going to start by asking you is, when's the last time your marriage felt easy or spontaneous? When was the last time it truly felt fun?
And that's between husband and wife, between the spouses. Include the kids in there, but I mean, really between you two, your marriage dynamic. When was the last time that you felt, together and on the same page, filled with joy, excited for the future?
Does your house feel like a business meeting? Like you have to schedule everything, including your time together? Have you scheduled your time together? That is a good question.
Who's making dinner? You're talking about time together.
Who's driving the kids?
Did you pick them up from practice?
Yes.
Is it my turn? What's going on here?
And all of this can lead to a very tense and heavy atmosphere in your home because there's no joy moments in that. And if they are, they're quite fleeting. So this is where we want to go today. We want to talk about some things, intentional things.
There's that word again. If you spend any time with us, you're going to hear it a lot.
Yes. Some intentional things that you can do to make sure that you have joy in your home, specifically between you and your spouse, because it trickles down from there.
It does.
So what you got?
Well, first, I would suggest some love deposits. So think of your relationship rudimentary as a bank, and every intentional love moment that you're giving to your spouse is a deposit. And then every fight or argument is a withdrawal. And we, just like your bank account, you want to stay in the black. You never want to be in the red. You don't want to be overdrawn.
Put more in and take less out.
So, things like making sure that you kiss each other when you're leaving the house in the morning. A love note either in a lunchbox or in the cabinet where the coffee is, in a book that your spouse is reading. Yeah, on the steering wheel that they're going to look at before they split in the morning. But it lets them know that you're thinking about them, that they are on your mind all the time. And that creates this inner joy in the individual. And, you always want to be edifying your spouse. You definitely want to be building them up. And that, I think, is a great spot to start when it comes to creating some joy.
Yep. Another way would be at least once a week, you should have a 10 or 15-minute powwow where you kind of sit down and you check the emotional place your spouse is in, their mindset, where they're at, how are you doing? How can I pray for you? How can I love you better?
Yep.
What do you got for me, basically?
So this check-in is very intentional in that you, each other, are checking on your spouse, where you are emotionally, where you are spiritually, how can I better serve you right now? Now, we're not talking about the kiddos, and they may creep in a little bit, but we're certainly not talking about bills. We're not talking about chores. we're investing time into each other, making sure that each other knows that your spouse, the other, is truly interested in where you are and invested in your health and well-being. Where you are mentally and emotionally, as well as spiritually, is going to have direct impact on whether or not your home has that joyful atmosphere.
And I don't know if we've ever said this before, and if we haven't, now is the time.
All right.
Nobody can pray for your spouse like you can.
Absolutely.
Nobody knows them. Not even their parents know them to the depth that you know your spouse. And that is why prayer, when I pray for Ron and Ron prays for me, it is powerful. Direct line to God.
Absolutely. So you definitely want to be praying for your spouse as well. And when you do that, it creates some humbleness and some grace in you.
Yeah.
So that when you do have these conversations, they're softer. There's ideally not a hard heart, but pray together out loud. And it's really, really hard to be pissed off at somebody that you're praying with. So and it really does help it facilitates the bond. It creates more joy. It creates more grace. And in the beginning, when you're new at this, it creates a lot of comedy. It's really going to feel weird in the beginning, but just do it. Get past the weird. Do it. Your relationship is going to thank you for taking these steps.
100%. So just to revamp, little love deposits, one time a week, 10 to 15 minutes. You can do more than one time a week, but if you're just starting, just be intentional one time a week. And
make it a non-negotiable. It has to happen.
Yes. And I think that this is a good time to say, if you haven't already, give a thumbs up to us. Okay, that was our plug for that one.
That was pretty good.
But I also always like to end our videos with a challenge. So the challenge this week is to schedule that 15 minutes. When you're done with this video, turn to your spouse and say, what day works for you? Let's get it on the calendar. What time? Morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is. And sit down and check in with each other.
And it doesn't have to be a grand over-the-top moment. I mean, it could be laying in bed in the morning before you get up and get your coffee.
Or at night.
It could be as you're laying down to go to bed. This is some intentional time for the two of you to invest into each other.
But I will say, I would suggest that it's face-to-face and not like at lunchtime on the phone.
Yeah, no, it's better in person.
In the atmosphere. We'd also like to say that if you found when you watch our videos, if you find any of this helpful to you, intriguing, or if you know somebody that could benefit, we do have some programs. Everything we talk about comes out of our programs. This is what we work with people on because this is what we all need help on. We have our marriage harmony program. This is out of. We have our newly sober program for those who have come out of addiction and are walking through those steps. We also have our 7-week basic program that all of this gets coaching with us and has a guided program to hold you accountable during the week when we don't see you.
Absolutely. So with each program, obviously there's one-on-one coaching with us. And each of our programs we like to refer to as the GRS program. And GRS stands for Grow, Restore, and Strengthen. And, that's our mission. We've chosen this mission field, marriages, and our goal here is to grow, restore, and strengthen every marriage that we have the opportunity to work with. So we work with couples really all over the country.
Yeah.
But, the YouTube channel here is an opportunity to touch people that we may never get to coach, or that if somebody sees this and they're like, man, we really need to dive deeper into this topic, that they reach out. In the description in all of our videos is our website. And through the website, there's also a link to schedule a call with one of the two of us. Now, in this specific video, I'll make sure that there's a link to the calendar as well as a link to the website. But if you've got questions, concerns, if you're in a tough spot in your marriage where you know that there's growth that needs to happen but not sure how to facilitate it, reach out. Let's have a conversation.
And if nobody's told you yet, your marriage can succeed. And it can be restored no matter where you're at. Because listen, if Jesus was raised from the dead, so can your marriage be.
Your marriage is absolutely worth the fight.
Yes.
So don't give up and understand that you're not alone, you know, and there are so many marriages that, and we were on the brink of divorce in 2017, you know, so the short is that if we can do it, you can do it too. We needed somebody to come alongside us and help guide us on the path. You likely will need the same thing. And so we're just offering that. But understand that, you know, you're loved, God loves you, we love you, and your marriage is absolutely worth fighting for.
100%. And we thank you for joining us and hope to see you on our next video. Bye, guys.
Talk to you soon.